Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reasonably Effective Podcast. I'm 10 Types, as I was joined by Uncommon Fossil.
Glad to be here and very much looking forward to today's topic, talking about Pokemon types and going to be talking about a lot of good cards that everyone likes and things that I think it'll be fun for us and I think it'll make a good listen as well.
Yeah, and it's like we're going to be ranking the 10 types, aka me. No, but we're going to be going over the 10 types in the Pokemon TCG and ranking them, and also talking about like how good they are in general, not just in order, but also there's some that are a lot better than others. So we're kind of grouping them into tiers. Maybe we're not doing a full on tier list like visually, but we're going to be kind of talking about them. And I want to talk about quickly before we hop into things how I ranked these. I took like all the top cards in the game and which I pretty much just looked through like the top lists and stuff, and then I ranked them. I said that they were either like super good, which I gave 8 points to, kind of like decent, which I gave 3 points to, and like kind of meh, which I give 1 point to. So then I just popped it, added all those up, and then got some results here and like looked through them, and then I think they make sense to me. But yeah, we're going to be trying to create a list together, and I imagine some of our opinions will change by the end of this podcast as well.
Yeah, and what I did just to talk, let you know about that is I kind of made a list of what the good cards were first, which ranged by type, which went from 4 up to I think 12. Then I kind of put stars next to the great cards, so to speak, which went from 1 to 6. And then I said, I need to refine a little more. So then I put exceptional cards, which went from 0 up to 3 per type. So that's just kind of a sense. So I kind of have three levels there. I don't know how many you have in your levels, but that's kind of where I'm at. Shall I throw out what I think is the weakest type in the game now?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, sure. Let's start it.
I mean, the weakest type, if you go to the 11th type, is fairy type. So, but there are none in standard. So that's not on the top 10 list. So we'll get that out of the way. But then the weakest type is a type that I like a lot. It makes me sad, but I think it's fire type. I think it's pretty clearly fire type. I think there's to me there's 4 good cards out of like 202 cards. It goes a little over 300. The lowest type has 50 cards, by the way, too. So, I'll make a few comments as it matters. So this is kind of a typical number. We've got the only great card to me got a 1 star is Flareon EX because I think that is pretty good. In large part because the first attack that does 1/3 exploits 2 energy, pretty good there. Then for good, I put Armarouge down. I do think that's a good card. I put down Cellar Edge EX. I'm not a huge fan of it myself, but I know people like it and does see play and some success. And I put Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. There are other Ethan's cards you could put in, but I don't really love the Ethan's package myself. But Ethan's Ho-Oh with what it does is interesting. It can go with Ethan's and other things. So I put that down. So 4 Pokemon, none of them are great. I think Flareon's the best, but that's not a great card. That's my thought on it.
So I agree that Flareon is like one of the best. I have two that I think are pretty decent. I'll just say I had Fire as the third to last type here. So I have it like close. I don't know. I think there's a worse type, and I don't think it's Fire.
Okay.
But like that's clear worst type. But Fire definitely does have like Flareon's decent, though not amazing. I think Lich is like pretty good, specifically
Okay.
with like right now in standard, with the new Lunatone Solrock stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's like definitely a good deck. I'd say it's definitely better than Flareon. I mean, I don't really like Flareon that much. I'm not gonna lie. But regardless, they're like okay. And they are like the center points of decks. And then also with Fire, you have Ethan's Ho-Oh, which is like okay with like Armarouge. And then which did I even have Armarouge? I don't think so, but I think I just forgot it. I'm
Because
not
you
gonna
love
lie.
Armarouge. Like you talk about Armarouge
Armarouge
to
is
me
fun.
all the time.
I guess. I feel like I haven't. I mean, yeah, it's like cool. I don't actually play it though, because it's not super good. But then the other Ethan's Typhlosion, Ethan's Quilava, they're all right. And then also there's some Chiyus which are decent. Specifically the Chiyu played in Charizard. It's not a super good card. It's not a particularly bad card. It's an okay card, but it sees a bunch of play in Standard right now. So I felt like I kind of wanted to include it there. I'm not going to go over all the cards for all the types, but then also Volcanion EX, I feel like it's a pretty cool card with a burn if it's in the active. It's like useful in some different decks for some extra damage. It's a decent little card there. Overall, I feel like
Yeah.
Fire has not super impressive stuff. As we'll talk about like the weaker types, it definitely is within that category, but I feel like it's decent, specifically with Flareon and Ceruledge. They're both decent cards. Certainly not in the like top tier of Pokemon. I mean, Ceruledge is arguably a top tier deck, but the other stuff around is important. It's not like an absurdly good deck either, but yeah, I feel like Fire's like bad, but not
So
horrendously. I thought it was terrible. Then I looked more.
so you have it 8, I guess, and I have it at 10. Well, this is why I'll say the Pokemon Company and the card designers hate Fire right now because there's one poster card Pokemon for Fire, Charizard EX. There happens to be a very good Charizard EX. Good attack, good ability, good HP. Except that's the one card oh no, you're not gonna be Fire. Sorry. So obviously Fire would go up probably for both of us if that had been typed differently. But that because that's clearly better than I think any of the other cards here. So
Yeah.
so you don't think it's Fire. So what do you think is the weakest type in the game?
Yeah, I think it's water. Water doesn't really have any. It has a few decent cards here. For context, water I gave it again. I have this like scoring criteria. It has a score of 6 versus fire has a score of 12. Again, it's like kind of just I kind of just threw a list together, but ultimately, water doesn't have that many good cards. I have 4 cards listed here. And so there is the best card in my opinion is Wellspring Mass Ogre Pontiacs, which I have on the same tier as I had Ceruledge and Flareon. Being able to trap, being able to snipe. It's a decent card. It's not absurdly good, but it definitely has some legitimately good value here. And then there's also the other 3 I had were Psyduck, which counters Dusknoir, I guess among other things, but mostly Dusknoir, which is like a decent tech option, but not super powerful. Then I had Frostlass for spread, which is pretty decent. Not the centerpiece of a deck. It's like moderately important in one deck, but it's decent. And then you have Iron Bundle, which is pretty versatile as well. It's not super powerful though. Again, it's relatively unimpactful in the games it's played in, but it's played in a wide variety of decks and can be put into a wide variety of decks and can be really good at times as well. There are some other like okay cards. The notable card that there are 2 cards I guess that I don't have are Chimpow and Baxcalibur, but they're just like not really playable, or they're not playable. They're not really played in standard. I can't think of the last time I've seen them. They obviously were very good at one point, and they are still in standard. But ultimately, I feel like water just is like really because it's a traditionally strong type, but in standard right now, it really feels like it's lacking powerful cards.
All right, and I have it ninth, so
Okay.
and I do think to me fire and water are the 2 bottom. I know you think there's something else that's uh, worse than fire, but I think grass is not good as well. I actually have the funny thing is I have 8 cards that I think are good cards in water. I only had 4 cards in fire, and I have 8 cards, and I don't have Wellspring Mask Ogerpon as one of those.
Wait, what? That's like what?
Well, I
What?
don't.
What are your cards here?
So you're gonna kind of knock me first off. I have Chen Pao and Baxcalibur, and I have those as those got stars. They're good cards. They have now. Part of it is I think it's more than just right now because those were very very good cards at one point, right? And
Um,
I still
ye-
see them in live, But that's I will say that it at least 5%
Wait,
of the
what?
time I see people
Oh,
playing
against. Oh, okay,
playing Chen Pao Baxcalibur decks both in
okay.
standard and maybe in expanded too. I see them. So I usually beat them. Because again, I don't think water is very good, but I think they're good cards. I would definitely put them. Maybe they shouldn't be starred, but they're good. I put Feraligatr down. I know you love that guy. So
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I put the Iron Bundle. I do think is good. I'm glad you put him down. I put down Palafin EX, who I know that you like him too. He's
Yep.
fun, right? And then 2, I put down Wug Trio. You don't think he's probably like him that much, but I think he's pretty good for the
Yes,
mill.
it's all right. It's all
So
right.
I think that, and then there's 2. I put down Milotic EX. That's pretty
Oh
good
yeah, that one I
potentially.
was considering. Is
Um,
decent.
it's not as good now with the megas and stuff because it stops the Terra, so the Terra amount's dropping, but that's certainly for real. And then the one I think, did you say Frostlass? Because I think he's got to be
Yeah.
there. So I
Mhm.
think he's very meaningful. So again, I can see Chen Pao Baxcalibur not being great. So they probably isn't a great Pokemon in water. It probably isn't really one in fire either. I think water has a little more depth, but it's neither one's great.
Yeah, I feel like Wolfsburg Sogar Pontiacs is like it's the main Pokemon in Terra Box. I mean, it's like, Terra Box has a lot of different things going
Yeah.
on. Being the main Pokemon in a deck like that isn't super meaningful. We'll talk about, obviously box decks have a lot of different Pokemon. We'll be talking about these Pokemon a bunch throughout the video, but um, it is like good. It definitely
Yeah.
is. It's probably I was gonna say the best spread Pokemon in the game. That's not true, but it's good, right? It's
It
pretty
is
decent.
good. Yeah, and I had considered him, and maybe I should have put him. I mean, he's the third best of the Ogrepons. So, and I think there's a big
Um,
drop off to him myself, but we'll get to the other
You
ones
do?
later.
I don't know. I feel like they're to me that I have them in a similar category. But anyways,
Okay.
I like control. I like control though. It's good. It's
Yeah.
actually like super good there in standard right now. But anyway, so yeah, those two types are pretty weak. The other type I had as being really weak, which surprised me how low I had it here. But that type was lightning. Um,
Wow. Okay. I got lightning a lot higher. So okay.
so I'm just gonna quickly go over why I have it so low. I don't think there's any super strong lightning cards in standard. If you know me, you know I'm a bit of a Joltik box hater, but I don't think the deck's super bad. And it has a bunch of cards in it that are lightning that are like pretty decent. I didn't have anything super spectacular in lightning. The ones that I had that were decent, like the best ones were Joltik and Iron Hands EX, which are like decent cards. Joltik is good damage acceleration. Iron Hands EX is a good attacker. I think it's kind of in a similar role to Will Swim Ogre EX, taking advantage of weaker Pokemon. They do different things. They're certainly not the same card by any means, but they have as like a very loose grouping. I mean, I have them at the same like quote power level. Iron Hands can be used in different decks, mostly used within Joltik though. And then you have it. I will say that card was like super good in the past. And then I have Rhydon EX, Iron Thorns EX, Pikachu EX. Pikachu EX I had in the lower level. I could definitely see it being higher. But yeah, it's like okay. I'm not really a. I mean, it's pretty. It's obviously very powerful, but it's kind of clunky to get set up and clunky to reuse as well. On a level that the other Lightning Pokemon aren't. And then I think I said Murata EX is also electric. I didn't include Zekrom EX. Zekrom EX is like okay, I guess it doesn't really see that much play. There's also Mega Electric EX, I guess, but I don't think it's super good. And did I forget anything? I don't think so in that list. You could toss in Magneton, I guess, if you want to. I feel like Lightning's like okay, but pretty underwhelming. I was gonna say mediocre, but most types have something particularly strong going for them. Lightning doesn't really have that.
Okay. I mean, I put down lightning a lot higher. That's what I'll say. Um, I honestly, I put it as 4, and that was like
Four.
6 earlier. I think it's a lot better than you're saying. So, but also we'll see with the other types. It's also comparison. I think you hit all the cards.
Oh, sorry, I'll say. So I think the top three are like a lot better than the rest as well. I'll say that. So and so we had at 4. I don't know if you agree with
I
the
I
distinction of the top three, but
I think lightning is one of, along with 2 other types I haven't talked about, that has a bunch of good cards, pretty good
mhm.
cards. There's 2 types that have like no depth, but some great cards, and then there's these three. Lightning's one of 3 types that has some pretty good cards, breadth to it. Now, I think yeah, I think Jolt. You don't like Jolt, you recognize it. I do think one of them is clearly the best, though, which you mentioned, but I think Iron Thorns is a great card. It does really well. People don't like it. It doesn't get played a ton, but it's successful. And so, one world championship without getting respect. It's still a
Yeah, that
good.
was a while ago.
It is, but it's still a solid deck, right? And yes, part of it depends how much you look at the IRL world versus the online world, and such. But Iron Thorns, it's out there. It's a good counter to things. When people aren't ready for it, you can win with it still. So I think Iron Thorns is the best of them. I think Pikachu EX is very good. I know you like it as well too. That ability doesn't get knocked out. I think it's just off kind of the great cards. 300 damage on a basic, super awesome. Iron Hands is still very good, a good part. That's an important piece in box decks as well. And what was the other one I had down that I think is pretty good? I think Miraidon. I think Miraidon's
Yeah,
really good. That ability is tremendous. The attack is meh. Obviously, it's usable. Obviously, it's usable, but it's that ability super good, which just boosts up lightning. So I think lightning's pretty good. Now, part of it is so we're taking the Pokemon, but not the support cards for it, right? So Lightning
Yeah.
probably gets skewed because of that, because there's been good support like with electric generator for a while.
Yeah. Well,
Obviously
what else? Is there anything other than electric generator that you're like
for
thinking of?
lightning, no, but like fighting type would obviously get a real huge boost now from the new trainers, right? And we need to
Yeah.
take that out. So there is one of the top types which has like one really good card. And does that skew the other cards to be better? We'll have to debate that when we get there, right? That's always tricky. So Mariah,
Oh yeah.
right? So, but Lightning's better because of Miraidon. If you didn't have light Miraidon, it would just bring down all these other Lightning cards a good bit too, right? So that it gets a little tricky how to do it. So I think Lightning's pretty good. I think it's definitely better than Fire and Water. It just has more stuff that's useful.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I agree with that. Like it came out lower than I was expecting. I think I when I was deciding between higher or lower, I ended up going lower on a bunch of the lightning ones where I was kind of split on them. It has some decent cards. Ultimately, I valued for this more like good cards, like really good cards, and as you were saying, like lightning doesn't really have that. It has some like definitely decent cards, but no like truly amazing cards. Um, in my opinion, I'd say it's like pretty balanced, which is like cool. But there are some cards on this in the game that I'd say aren't like super well balanced, which are going to really shoot some of the other types up the rankings here. But
Yeah.
what type do you have next?
I have Grass as the eighth type for myself.
Okay, I had that one higher, like
Okay.
obviously, but I had it like a bunch higher.
Okay. Well, it could have been the same, right? It's we've covered three decks. So, oh no, no, that's right.
Yeah,
It has to be higher for you than that. So, what it is let's see, Grass. There are to me eight good cards, which we got Shaman. I think that's not definitely good. I think
oh, I forgot
Crustle.
Shaman.
Okay.
Wait, did I forget Shaman? I did forget Shaman. I feel like Shaman's like, yeah, it's decent. I feel like it's not super good though.
No, but I think it's a good card. Like I said,
Yeah.
you're getting around somewhere maybe top 10 cards per type or something. Shaman's there. Crustle, I think, is very good.
Mhm.
If you like a counter card, which you said you like control things, it's very good, right? Again, it has its moments. I put down Mega Venusaur. That one, you want to tell me that doesn't belong. I'm okay with that. I put down Thwacky because I think that's got to be there. The Boom Boom Grove ability is very, very good. I didn't put the other attackers in with it because I don't think that's. But I think Thwacky is very good. I have what I think is the best of the Ogrepons, Teal Mask Ogrepon. I think that's very
Mhm.
good. I think Iron Leaves is good. I don't think you have the respect for Iron Leaves,
The
but
EX, right?
the Iron Leaves EX, right? With just one
I like
shot.
had it here. I feel like it's like situational, but it has a place.
Yeah, when you're worried about grass weak decks, when like Charizard EX or something else, it's just really good. We've got Badoo, which is very good. Played a ton. I imagine you see that, and then Toadscruel, which is meaningful in certain decks for certain matchups, right? So I think you could argue that one's not, but it is it's important to a lot of things. So there are in the grass type, I think there's two good cards. I think Tiamat Ogrepons is good, and I think Badoo is good. Right? Those are the two good,
Yeah.
but they're not great cards. But they're clearly, I think, the best of the grass.
I feel like they're pretty great. I had them in that high tier.
Okay.
I'd say they were both like on the fringe there. But I feel like they're both like really good. TMS Ogre Pontiacs is important for a few different decks. It's not the centerpiece, but it's pretty important to those decks. I think with Raging Bolt, it's very very important there. And with I guess the grass. Like Venusaur or whatever, things like that, then it's super important.
Yeah.
And then also a couple cards didn't mention Maractus for trapping stuff is
Yeah.
good. People are playing Yveltal now. I feel like Maractus is generally better than Yveltal. I mean, they're a bit different, but and then also there's Leafeon EX, which is like decent. I feel like there's things you said about Iron Leaves EX mostly apply to Leafeon EX as well.
Yeah.
They're different. They're played in different things, but decent here. But yeah, overall, I feel like Grass has like pretty good stuff. Um, Specifically with Ogerpon and Badoo. Like Badoo's super good, and I also forgot Shaman. I don't like. I was looking through the top deck, um, of each or top list of each deck in Play
Yeah.
Limitless, and I guess like people just weren't playing Shaman because it's a card you can include or not in like a variety of different decks. So I guess people just happen to not be playing it there. It's obviously useful against some things. I think Shaman is like not super good, but it's certainly not a bad card either. I feel like Grass is. So for me, Grass was ranked. it was ranked fourth for me, which like
Okay.
surprised me. I don't think it's quite that good, but it's just definitely it's got some good stuff. It's got decent depth. It got decent power as well.
Yeah, so we kind of almost flip flop between grass and lightning. I had grass 8, you had lightning 9, and we both had them at the opposites at 4. So we kind of flip flop. I think they're both types that have some pretty good depth. They're not great though. I can see you're arguing for. I mean, Badoo's played a lot. I don't know that that makes it great. You know,
Yeah, I get that.
I think Tiamat's Ogre is really good, for sure. So now I think bug catching set's very good, and I think if you got rid of that for some of the decks that like to play Tiamat's Ogre, it would be a lot worse. So I don't know if you want to take that into take that into account or not. For grass heavy decks, obviously bug catching set's an awesome card.
Yeah.
That
Wait,
just
are you saying that as a point for it or a
it's
point
in a
against
sense a
it?
point against it potentially, right? If we don't want to
Yeah, I
take
feel
the
like I'm not.
trainers.
I wouldn't use those in my criteria. I wasn't taking them as points against. I was saying like, and I was kind of thinking of them kind of grouped in, but not like saying. I don't know. I guess our criteria wasn't super clear going in, but I feel like it's like I wouldn't take it as a point against it.
Okay,
Um,
but you're not going to let me boost up the fighting type because of the new cards, right?
well, I mean, I'd say
So
like
that
the
that's
new
where it
fighting
gets
types are
tricky.
better. They're seeing more play because of the new cards.
Yeah.
So it's kind of grouped in there. That definitely makes it a little harder. But yeah, do we want to? What type do you want to cover next, though?
The other type, which is I think it's similar to lightning and grass because I think it's got some good depth, but I don't think it's great, and that's fighting type. You good with going
Yeah.
there?
Sure. I have one type between. Actually, I have two types between it, but I'm fine. I'm fine going there.
Okay. I mean, there are the other two types you probably have are the ones that don't have, to me, a lot of good cards, but have some
Yeah.
exceptional cards. And that's its own interesting question of how do you rank things. Again, fighting is good. I don't think it's great. I have 8 good cards here. I have Halucha. I'm personally not a big fan of it, but it's a good card, useful. Has been. I'm not sure at the moment how much it
Yeah, I
is.
mean, it sees a lot of play, and I mean, it sees play. Where is Hawlucha? Oh, it got a shiny. Yeah, it's in Dragon Ball quite a bit here. Wow, quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, people play Dragon Ball a lot and usually play Hawlucha in it.
Yeah, right, to get the knockouts. So yeah, I think the Cynthia's Garchomp is pretty good, and it's
Yeah,
obviously a lot better with with the new supporters. And I think I also put down Cynthia's Gigabyte in that in within like the good cards because that ability is very good. Without the Garchomp, it's not so good, but the Gigabyte's very important to making the Garchomp
Gigabyte.
good. Yeah, what's that? The
Yeah. Then Cynthia's Gigabyte. It's decent.
well,
Um, it's useful. Yeah, I do have it here.
we'll get into the same discussion like with there's a dragon Pokemon that pre-evolution I think kind of makes that whole thing better too, right?
Um, yeah, Dreepy. Yeah. But no. So
So the
yeah.
other
What
cards
else?
that are good, I put Great Tusk down. It's a good mill deck, right? So I give props to that. I
Uh-huh.
put the Greninja EX. I like that. He's fun. He's not great. He's more fun. Maybe doesn't belong. I think Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon is the best of the Ogerpons. I think just because of the walling, right? You have a walling, all abilities as a basic, super nice to have in a wall deck, right? Or
Mhm.
decks with some fighting that can attack too. If you had a fighting EX deck, then you have something that hits through walls. It can hit through a wall if necessary. And Lunatone is probably the best of the fighting Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
I didn't put the Soul Rock down because Soul Rock of itself is not that good. Obviously, you need that, but Lunatone's ability is super awesome.
Yeah, Lunatone for me was the best fighting Pokemon as well. And just like really good there. I also did include Solrock as like it's okay. Also Mega
Hmm.
Lucario EX. Obviously Mega Lucario EX is
Oh yeah,
pretty bad without. Oh, did you have that? You
I
just
did
didn't say
have it.
it.
I forgot him. Yes, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not like super good, but with the fighting support stuff, it's like it's pretty good. Or it's like it's all right. Some of these cards we're talking about aren't super good, but are all right. I think that certainly makes the cut there. Yeah, I think Ogerpon fighting Ogerpon is very good. I did have the Teal Mask over it, but
Yeah,
uh, I mean, I don't know. It's a card that's really good, specifically within the Mega Absol box deck, which is like kind of like Mega Absol is like meaningful to it, but it's not like the most meaningful to it, in my opinion. We're gonna get to that later, but the Fighting Ogre Pond is like super good. It's like matchup winning, in certain matchups. It's just like so good, and it can be like realistically splashed into a wide variety of different decks here. Oh, this deck plays one fighting energy, but and two ogre pounds. Anyway, so yeah, it can be really good there. Um, Again, just like matchup winning. So it's a good card. I think it's just good. And then there's also I had a few more. I had
Yeah, go ahead.
the one I'll mention here, I guess, is Ethan Sudowoodo. Ethan Sudowoodo is useful for trapping Pokemon. It's a pretty decent option. It's the one played in Control generally. It's not really played in other decks. There's the four options. There's Maractus played in Marnies mostly, I think. There's Ethan Sudowoodo played in Control. Specifically, it can hit Resistance. And then there's also going to be the Yveltal, which we'll get to later, which is played in a few different decks. I think it's mostly played. I mean, it's a newer card. People are going to play newer cards a bit more, but it's useful within Darkness decks, and it has Fear Tree. And then the Wellspring or Pontiacs, it's not played too much. Well, it's played. It's not played too much for trapping, but in Standard right now, I should say, it was previously played there, but it's useful. Obviously, has some different use cases there, but yeah, Ethan Sudo is like cool. There's a few control cards we're going to talk about in this video, I think, like very control heavy cards, and I want to mention that one. Oh, there's also Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is like not super good, but it's all right, I guess. It's fun.
Yeah. Now, I originally had the Maractus on my grass list, and I think Maractus is better than Ethan Sudowoodo just because of its ability, right, with putting the damage
Yeah.
on it. So, um, I would put it better than Maractus, and I chose to leave off Maractus, which is why I wouldn't put the Ethan Sudowoodo here. But I mean, yeah, it's not a bad card, obviously. Like I said, I think so. So what was your grade on? Where'd you put it on the top 10 list? The fighting.
It was fifth for me, pretty close to the middle there.
Okay.
Um,
I'm
yeah, it's like decent.
and we'll come back to kind of sort out the final list. But to me, I think would you agree the lightning, metal, fighting are all kind of similar? They have good depth. They don't have great cards per se.
Wait, sorry, what types?
I think lightning, fighting, and grass are all kind of
Oh,
similar,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think you
That
said metal, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be getting there shortly, I assume. That's a very opposite type. But these three types all have good breadth and some good Pokemon. I'm not sure any of them get to the great level, which makes it a little tricky of how you place them.
Yeah, I think I mean I had grass and fighting far above lightning because I don't know. I feel like Lightning lacks that real, like, amazing set of cards. Versus, I feel like Grass and Fighting do have those. The Ogre Pawns are very good, and they both have a good single prize in Badu and Lunatone there. But yeah, I mean, we'll get to that later
Yeah,
when we like really dive into things more. But then with Metal type, I think that's the next one. I had
yeah,
that as seventh here on my list, because it really lacks, as we kind of dive into the type, it has two good, I mean, it really has one really best card, like by far, which is a very good card, which is Goldengo EX.
yeah,
Obviously played, I mean, it's a good deck. It's been a good deck. It's still a good deck. Um, yeah, not too much to break down with it. It's very good. In that highest tier, it's not like broken, but it's quite good. And then Genesect DX is good for supporting it. I don't think Genesect DX is super good. I mean, it has an important role within the deck, but it's not something that's like you use it probably like one. Well, you might use it every turn just to like search your deck, but
yeah,
you'll use it for like turn one or no, maybe turn one, but you really have one main turn. Turn two, to get your evolutions, and that'll get most of them into play. So it's like good on one turn. It's very underwhelming the rest of the game, so it's okay. And then there's also, I didn't include the single prize Janus Act. It's played. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's definitely all right to shut down ace backs. Arcaladon EX is a decent attacking option. It's not amazing in standard right now, but it's okay. It accelerates to itself, and it does like decent damage, decent tankiness, kind of like what we see with the Darkness Stage 2 EXs with Marnies and Charizard there, but it's not like quite the same. I say it's definitely a bit worse than those. And then I have Scissor. Scissor is like cool
okay,
for what is it? It's just like a fun little option there. And then also there's Mega Mawile EX. Mega Mawile EX is played within either a Caladon or a Terra box, or like I guess like basic box. It's not a Terra. And yeah, it's like okay. Overall though, I'd say like the big one is Goldengo, and then there's some other like okay ones, but the depth is definitely a lot weaker here.
Yeah. Now, did you say Matang when you were saying?
No, I didn't say Matang. I feel like Matang
Okay.
is, um, it's like okay. I guess it's not a bad card, but like it's not a in terms of I mean, this isn't just like competitive play, but like that like kind of level where they're not like winning a major tournament, but like playable, and people don't really like it's pretty bad. Like it's actually not it's not a terrible card, but the cards it gets paired with like don't really exist either.
Well, it was a card that was more meaningful once upon a time, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't even like that good.
No, I agree. Look, I have six. Now, Metal has only 128 cards, whereas these other ones all are like 200 to 300 for the most part, except for the one other type that has by far less. But the Metal has a lot less, which is for a main type, just is a little odd, but that's the way it is. I think Goldango is one of the great cards. It's in. I have what I
Yeah.
or exceptional. I have 9 exceptional cards I called out, and Goldango's one of them. So,
Mhm.
and then I do think Archaludon is very good. I think that's the second best of the metal cards. Just the ability is very good, right? It can be its own
Mhm.
attacker or for flexibility. And I have the other card. I didn't have Scissor down. I do certainly play Scissor sometimes in decks. But I think Genesect EX is good. Mega
Yeah.
Manetric, I have that down. It's
Well,
okay. Mega Mawile, sorry,
yeah.
EX is okay, but Goldango is one of what maybe one of the top 5 cards of the game. Something at least
Yeah,
it's very
Pokemon.
close to that. I
Not
mean,
trainer or not
Pokemon,
all stars,
sorry,
I feel like.
yeah, Pokemon
Yeah.
it might be because its attack, which scales so well, and the ability. So I think you have the choice. There's really good cards in Metal. I have it at 6. You have it at 7th, but it doesn't have a lot of depth. So it's kind of how do you evaluate quality versus breadth with things.
Yeah. And then I think we can move to the next type as
Yeah.
well, which is the type here in Dragon, which is a type with one very good card. In my opinion, there could be a second one you toss in there that's like very good. But that card is Dragapult EX. It's been arguably the best deck in the game, not since it's been out, but for most of that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we could spend a lot of time, but we don't really have to. It's like very good. There's not too much interesting to say because most of it's already been said. It's been really good for a while. Included in there, like another good card is Dracloak. Dracloak's like decent on its own, I guess. People don't play it that much on its own because if you're playing Dracloak, why not play Dragapult as well? But Dracloak's pretty decent. Then also Raging Bolt EX. Raging Bolt EX is like another very good Dragon Pokemon to allow you to do big damage. I think the deck's very good. It's really split between a good chunk of different cards, though, including Professor Slay's Vitality, which isn't a Pokemon, but yeah, the deck's good. Raging Bolt EX is obviously the main Pokemon in the Raging Bolt EX deck, and then there's also the like last important card I have here is going to be I actually have two. I do have no, I have three. I have the single prize Raging Bolt, which is like okay, I guess it sees play.
Okay.
I also have what is this card? Oh yeah, Ends Reshiram. Ends Reshiram's like good, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really put the value in Ends Reshiram in itself, and I mean I don't even think Ends is that good. And then also Tatsugiri to let you look at the top 6, get a supporter there into your hand. It's like a decent ability. I honestly don't really use it very much, but it definitely sees play. It's definitely impactful in the decks it's played, and it's versatile. It's not like the craziest card, but it's pretty decent.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I didn't have Ends Reshiram or the single prize Raging Bolt. I don't think they're quite the same level,
Yeah.
but you think they're a little weaker too. I have one
Yeah, I
card.
think they're pretty bad, but people like play them.
I like Tatsugiri. I don't play it a lot, although when I do put in a deck, I like it and it can have value. Although a lot of time games it doesn't have any value when I play it in a deck too. So it's potentially very good, right? Tatsugiri.
Yeah.
There is one other card that I have. Oh, and that's Noivern EX. I think the
Yeah.
walling of basics is good, right? It obviously when we had Reggie Drago, it would have been on the list. Although Reggie Drago would have been maybe the top card for Dragon,
Yeah.
but I still think it's good, right? Walling off basics is a nice thing if you're going for a wall deck. So I think it deserves some mention. But Dragapult, for me, again, I have 9 exceptional cards. Dragapult's one of those exceptional cards. Again, I think it's a top 5 Pokemon, and then I have 28 great cards across the board, and that's Raging Bolt is in that second group, in the top 28 to me. So I think it's very good. It's similar to Metal. I have it at 5, which is one above Metal for me. Partly, I think it's a little better because Raging Bolt with Dragapult makes it. If like Raging Bolt is the second best one, and I think Archaludon is the second best for Metal, Raging Bolt is better than Archaludon for one thing. And also, Dragon only has 50 cards printed. So that's like if it's kind of a tie between something else, that's the tiebreaker to me. If you have less cards, you break the tie.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon's like a weird type because it doesn't have a basic energy. And it's not colorless. Colorless also doesn't have a basic energy, but it
Yeah,
like kind of, I mean, it kind of has energy. I mean, kind of all the energies are colorless energies.
right.
But yeah, it's like super weird. And then in order to make up for it, they make the cards like super strong in terms of like their stats need to be objectively better because their energy costs are like objectively harder to pay.
Yeah.
So then a lot of the dragon types also end up being really good. They end up being like focal points of sets and stuff like that. That's why you see, like Dragapult, for example, being like really good. It's, being that dragon type. You see some really special cards, despite the fact that it's always had less cards. Also, it's like I don't even think it's had a card in every set. I'm not actually sure on that one, but I don't think so.
Okay, so where did you rank Dragon type?
Oh, I had it right above metal as well. Mine are one lower there.
So you have it at 6.
In
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. So we're down to the top 3 now, which I think you mentioned it as what before is I do think the top 3 are a step above everything else. And
yeah.
I do think there's 2 types that are better than the others. So I'm going to go ahead. What I think is for me the third type overall, and that is colorless. I don't know if you're on the
Mhm.
same page with me or not.
Uh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So our top 2 are the same, whether they're in the same order or not. We will see. There's a lot of good cards here. I have amongst the good cards. I have 11 cards. I have 4 great cards, and I have 1 exceptional card. So let's see. So I have Fan Rotom down here, which is quite a nice card there. I'm trying to get the list to see for good and great. So, its ability quite nice. I have both. I have 2 EVs down. I don't know if you have them down, but I think the single prize EV that can evolve the first turn you play it is a quite nice ability. And then we have the EV EX that can evolve into the other EXs. So I put those down. Noctowl, which I think is very good with its ability. I have Mega Kangaskhan EX, which theoretically is good, right? With its ability to run errand to draw 2 cards. The switching is a problem, so I just don't think it's very good.
Yeah, I mean it's team play, right? I
Yeah,
feel like it's decent. I feel like it's within that like mega absolute mega Kangaskhan deck. I feel like it's very important and like very good there. Yeah. I mean I
yeah.
didn't think it was. I had it in like that middle tier,
Okay,
which my middle tier is bigger than your middle tier, but yeah.
okay, yeah. So it might be. So I have Terapagos EX. I do like that a lot as well. That's at the bottom lower end of these good cards. Blood Moon Ursaluna is a very good card. That's in a single star for me, kind of in the top 28 of the Pokemon. I have Pidgeot EX, which is also top 28. That one's close to that kind of exceptional, but I'm not putting it there.
Oh,
Buffalo.
okay.
So did you? I mean, to me, I have 9 in the exceptional category. This might be number 10 if I wanted to round that out to 10.
Wait, which one?
Pidgeot EX.
I feel like Pidgeot's like decent, but not like. I mean, theoretically, it's super good. Getting any card from your deck in return is like good.
Yeah,
The dex is played in. It's played in Charizard, which is good, but
yeah,
not like absurdly good. It's like it's a decent deck, and a good card. But Pidgeot EX is like decent. And then there's Pidgeot Control, where Pidgeot EX obviously is important. It's like the name of the deck, I guess, but it's like a toolbox deck. Pidgeot is
right.
important to the deck, but ultimately, like there's a lot of important pieces. So and that means that each individual piece is less important. So ultimately, I feel like Pidgeot EX is like good, but in terms of like support Pokemon, um, well, sorry, what's your top card, and then I think I'll
Oh, just
go up.
so the other 2 cards, I have Buffalant down, which is okay. I can see taking
Yeah,
that one off. I have Dunsparce, which I like. I know you don't like him as much. I think
it's all right. It's okay.
so I think he's. But then in the Squawkabilly EX is the top
Yeah,
of the colorless cards, just really good. I think Squawkabilly is the best. I think Noctowl, Pidgeot, and Blood Moon Ursaluna is the next tier for myself. But yeah, so Squawkabilly is just really good for a lot of decks. So therefore, it's a top card in the game.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I don't think I think Pidgeot's like okay. I'd say it's maybe like top 20 or so. I think it's a little lower than you do, but not that much. And then I had I also have Ditto here. I don't know. I don't really like Ditto. I think it's kind of
Okay.
bad, but people play it a bunch. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good support cards. Like Dizon's Price isn't amazing, but it's decent. Noctowl, Pidgeot EX, Mega Kangaskhan, which can be an attacking option. And then Squawkly, yeah, I have that in that high tier, as well as Blood Moon Luna EX. I also had that in that top tier. It's played
Yeah.
in a lot of different decks. It's a really important finishing piece. Honestly, it's a card I don't play with that much, and then I sometimes will always forget about it and then like lose to it like all the time. I don't know how I managed to do that, but regardless, it's like good because it's potentially free. I mean, its HP is really high, its damage is really good. It just like I mean, I thought I've said this before, but when I saw it revealed, I thought it was a stage two because I didn't know that Blood Moon Ursaluna was a basic because regular Ursaluna is a stage two. So I was like, okay, this is like kind of like a little bad for a stage two, not like horrendous, but like a little bad. And then I was like, wait, it's a basic. This card's like absurd, and I was like, kind of all right. It's very, very, very good. Not like I think Squawkbilly is probably a little better, but they're both good. And then in terms of
Yeah.
like Squawkbilly, obviously it's a basic. It's it can get you out of bad situations. It's only usable in one turn in the game, so that's like the only issue with it. That's why it's not like otherwise it would be like very broken. But yeah, it's a very good card there. I
Yeah.
think Colorless, has those like good cards. It's got really a really good amount of depth. So I think it has the second most depth. I'm not sure. Oh no, actually for this one, so for I'll say Colorless and the second place deck, or sorry, type, were actually tied for me.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing our top two are flipped then because I have colorless has the second most good cards, which is 11. I have one type that has, which is the top type for me, that has 12. So, but colorless has very good depth. I think the other two types we haven't got to have a couple more. Have maybe I think Squawkable is the one card that's a really really great card to me. The others have at least two cards that are great cards. I would say so, but it has really good depth and some very good cards in colorless.
Yeah. So now I want to talk about my number two type here. Obviously, I'll reveal my number one. But the type that I had tied with colorless was darkness. So was
Okay.
that you had?
Oh, no, I have darkness too. I just don't think there's as many good darkness cards, so that's interesting actually. So
Oh, you don't think there's as many good darkness
So
cards
so
as
let me
colorless?
yeah, so let me say my dark. I have darkness as second as well. So I have seven good darkness cards. You have what, 11 or 12? So I'll say
Yes. I mean, there's some like ones that aren't like super good. There's honestly, well, I have Mandibuzz on there, which I'm just a big fan of Mandibuzz, but it's not that good.
okay.
But yeah, I have like some
Well,
some sketchier ones on here.
let me say what I
Uh,
have, and I also took two off, which but I've got Pheasant Dippy. Well, Pheasant Dippy is awesome, so I'll let you talk about that one. I'm pretty sure that's on your list. I have both
yeah,
Roaring Moons, the single prize, because it's still one of the best single prize attackers in the game.
I don't have either of those. I don't think.
And in the these are in the EX is still you can it one shots anything. Obviously, pairing up's problematic now. They were great cards, right? But they're not now. So I'm curious to hear what you're going to have. A Team Rocket's Crobat is very. I have that down. I think it's good.
It's
Um,
cool. I don't know. I played it some. I like it, but it's not. I find it pretty sketchy. I mean, also mine was mostly based off of like what I see other people play. Like I went through Play Limitless. I
okay.
added some of my own stuff, but
So
yeah.
so that didn't make your list either. Then I assume.
No, that did not.
I'm part the ability is very good, right?
I guess. I mean, it's
No, the
like
ability's okay. The fact it can shuffle back into your hand, it's an interesting card. If you're playing a
it's a
Team
cool card.
Rockets
Yeah.
deck, right? It goes in.
I don't know. I mean, like Team Rockets has a certain game plan. Generally Team Rockets. When I think of Team Rockets, I think of the Mewtwo Spite Ops stuff, and that's like a certain game plan there. It takes a bunch of energy there, and then also like bench space and stuff. So you don't have like that much room for all this other stuff. But
Yeah.
I really do like Team Rockets Crobat EX. I think it's a really cool card. I think it has some really cool value in it. But ultimately, it's not super good.
Okay.
But
Then I've got Enzorok down. I don't happen to
yeah.
love it, but it's got potential. I just think a stage two for what it does, it's not enough value for the ability. But.
Um, I mean, yeah, like as a stage one draw engine, kind of like
Yeah, isn't it?
I don't know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like like Drake Loke or like to Dunsparce or something, which are like okay. And then also is an attacking option. It's like different. It's a two prizer,
Yeah.
which means it functions differently. I'd say worse, but I don't know. I mean, it's all right. I feel like it's I certainly had it on my list. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's decent.
Yeah, I mean, what holds it back, the attack is theoretically really good, but I don't think the other end's attackers are enough to me to get excited enough about. So that's why I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of it, but I know it's good. It's just, it's definitely a good card. Marnie's Grim Snarl, I assume that's on your list as well. This is the one, the ability is very nice with the acceleration. The damage numbers, okay, so that's why, it's not a great card. I think it's a good card. And then we have a really good card. The second best Darkness card, I assume you'd agree, is Charizard EX.
Yeah. I had that in the like really top tier.
Yeah.
Not as good as the best one. I'll say the best card. That was my tiebreaker between the two. I was like, well, this card's like really, really good.
Okay.
But yeah, Charizard is still very good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Pheasantipity is potentially the top card of Pokemon in the game, right? And Pheasantipity is better than Charizard EX, I would say, just of a raw rating between the two.
Yeah.
But Charizard with its HP, its attack, its ability is just tremendous. I also had earlier on, I took off, but I had Brute Bonnet,
Yeah.
and I had Hydreigon EX, which I took that off as well. So what else do you have on your list?
Yeah, I had I'm trying to think of which ones you said. You didn't say either of the Pecorants, right? I don't think.
I did not. I considered the switching one, but I did not.
Yeah.
So you have both
Um,
two Pecorants?
yeah, they're like not amazing, but they're decent. And then there's also Mega Absol EX. Mega Absol EX is decent. I don't think it's super good. I wait. So if you've been seeing this deck like all over the ladder, I don't know how much you've been playing, but
I've been doing
um,
more expanded, so
okay,
so I'm not sure. I don't
yeah,
no, I have not seen Mega Absol at all yet. Okay, so I didn't. I had to
okay,
call it up to see what it even did.
yeah. No, Mega Absol. It's like super. It's really weird. I've talked to a bunch of different people about the deck, like who, like in person, who I know, who like they're decent players.
Yeah.
And because obviously there's a lot of people online that I interact with, but I don't know. Obviously there are some opinions that are like some people have like really good insights and stuff like that, but then some people just like say random stuff. It's you can say whatever you want, but ultimately these are people that like I was like I feel like they can maybe give me some insight that I don't have. And they were like, yeah, my opponents just start playing it. Every time I play against it, I like beat it, and my opponents don't know what they're doing. And yeah, so anyways, it's like hard to play, and
Yeah.
it's kind of meh in my opinion. Not bad meh, but like mediocre meh, like low end top 10 or whatever, which is not bad, but not absurdly good. Regardless, it's all right. It's definitely I think a card worth mentioning. Not amazing, but pretty all right. And then Eveltal, I mentioned Eveltal earlier.
Yep.
You kind of talked about you didn't talk about it. We talked about like the other cards like it, right? You didn't. Yeah, you didn't have it.
No, I didn't have it. So no. But yeah, it's a
Um,
good option.
yeah. Oh, and then I had the single prize Zoroark, which is apparently played in Dragapult a decent amount. I guess I haven't actually really seen it except for like once or twice. Where is it? What set was it in? It was like Black Bolt or something. Oh, is it not even played competitively? Maybe not in White Flare. Okay, so it doesn't actually been played in regional tournaments. I don't know. I looked and play limb list, and it was like all over the place, but not all over the place, but like more than I was expecting. Regardless, there's that card here, and then there's also the Cynthia Spiritomb as well, and
Okay.
then Mandibuzz. Cynthia Spiritomb's pretty decent. Mandibuzz is like
Yeah.
funny. It's a card I like. It probably doesn't deserve to be here, but regardless, it is here.
Yeah, I can definitely see Cynthia Spiritomb. It's very good. Obviously, I don't think this, how
I
good's
don't know if I
this?
say it's very good. It's
Well,
like decent.
yeah, and it's obviously niche because it only goes in one deck, so that's why I didn't put it here. Now, wait, is it the Zoroark that does based on the EXs and Vs in play, or the one
No,
that
it's the
does?
other one, but they were played together.
Okay,
But more of the one that I can copy and it can. I don't know. I didn't really look at it too much, but it's like useful in some situations, I guess.
it's
I just saw
yeah,
like it was because Limbless has a bunch of different categorizations of decks. So in
right,
Dragapult, there's a deck. that's just draggable. Where is it? I don't know. There's a deck that's just draggable. Yeah, deck 22 here. I'm looking at it and play Limitless, and it plays Zoroark. It plays a 2-1 split of them, and a bunch of them
Okay.
played it. So it seems kind of funny. I don't know if it's any good, but anyways. And then we didn't actually really talk about Pheasant Dipty EX though. Obviously, Pheasant Dipty
No.
EX.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
mentioned it, but it draws you 3 cards if you're knocked out last turn. Once per turn in total. You can't use more than one. It's obviously very good. It's in my opinion, it's by far the best card in, or not card, best Pokemon in the game. I made a video a while ago where I ranked the top 10 cards in the game, and I had and Pheasant was on there. There weren't any other Pokemon on there. I don't think it's close, personally. Um, we'll talk about obviously Psychic's last type. There's some pretty good Psychic cards in the game as
Yeah.
well, but ultimately Pheasantipity I think is gonna pretty easily clear all of those. It's powerful in every deck it's played in. It's like it's something that can recover you into games. It can pull you ahead. It can it's like always good to have on board. The only reason it's not good to have on board is because you want it later. Um, it's not really like a liability. It's like kind of a liability, especially in like a single prize deck, I guess, but or like against a fighting deck. But ultimately, it's not really a liability. Um, it's just super good. It's obviously not the main Pokemon in the deck. That's why I didn't give it its own tier. But I think, and it's also only a one of. I think there's an argument to be made to put it as a two of in a deck. Like maybe, I've literally never seen it as a two of in a deck. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure some people have, but it's like, it's very good.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yeah, and I actually had Darkness is number two for both of those. In my initial list, I did put it as one, in part because I think Pheasant Dipty is the best card in the game, and so I think you could make an argument for Darkness being number one. I think it comes up a little bit short because the other one has a more very good cards. So,
Yeah.
but
And so
Darkness, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I want to say like give my like number rankings, not all of them, but so I had Darkness and Color Switch at 32. As I said, Water the lowest was at 6. A bunch of the other types were somewhere between like the 10 through 30 range, and then Psychic I'll say is at 58. So it's like almost twice as much as the second place for me. I
Okay.
think Psychic's like runs away with it. I don't
Yeah,
know. I guess you don't have quite the same. I mean, you have that on number one,
I
but
do, and it's got the most good cards. My question is, Psychic is really good. It's got a lot of good stuff. Gardevoir EX is an amazing Pokemon, and it's been so good, it kind of makes everything else better. And that's my one concern with it, but I still think it is the best type, right? Because how much are things skewed to the positive because Gardevoir EX just makes these other psychic Pokemon so much better. But I think there's 12 good Pokemon. I think there's 6 great Pokemon, and I have 4 is the most of any other type. So I think it's got these really, and I think it's got 3 exceptional Pokemon. And then most, and like I have 2 for Darkness, 1 or none for everything else. So I do think when I look at it, Psychic is definitely
wait,
the
sorry, how
best.
many did you say it had as exceptional?
So I have 3 exceptional. Let me
Okay.
so exceptional. Where's my say? So obviously we have Gardevoir EX there. I also have Latias EX, which who you love, right? For the free
Yeah.
retreat. I assume you think that's one of the top cards of the type as
Yeah.
well. Because it's just so versatile for any basic deck there. And then I also have Dusknoir as an exceptional card because it's very good in a lot of decks. That doesn't really go necessarily in Gardevoir EX decks, although it can, but it's
I
very
guess. I haven't
versatile.
seen it in
No,
God of War.
I don't
I
think
mean,
I
you
have.
could put in anything theoretically.
Yeah, but it's very good in a lot of decks. So I think that's I'd probably put it a little bit below Gardevoir and Latias, but I think it's almost at that level. I didn't put Dusclops on the list. I had that initially, and it is obviously a very important card as well.
Yeah, I did have Dusclops on my list. I don't remember where I put it. I think I put it in the middle tier. It's pretty decent. And then also I had Monkey Dory in that tier.
Okay.
Monkey Dory is good.
Yep.
I'm a Monkey Dory hater. I guess I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's like an okay card. It's very good within Gardevoir because like Dusknoir and Latias, because you're saying there's a lot of good cards in Gardevoir that are like
Yep.
propped up because of it, which there are. But then the ones you said weren't actually in that because there's a lot of good psychic cards outside of it. But Monkey
Right.
Dory is definitely propped up a lot because of Gardevoir. It's versatile. It's like decently powerful. It's mostly versatile. and it's not like absurdly versatile. In some decks, it's very powerful. In some decks, it's more of like a niche tech option. But if it's pretty well into different decks, I don't think it's
Yeah.
absurdly good. But I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think other people think it's really good. So I definitely don't think it's overpowered. Well, I mean, I don't know. You could say like all the cards, like almost all the cards we're talking about are overpowered compared to the average card in the game. But yeah, Monkey Dory is definitely good. In
Yeah.
in Marius and in Gardevoir and in good in other situations to like counter stuff as well.
Right, and the attack that confuses, honestly, for decks that can attack, because there's decks that can't attack with because they don't have the psychic energy, but if you do, there's times when that comes in clutch. I have the three exceptional cards I said, and then Monkey Dory is one of the next three great cards, and then I have Mew EX, which I think is in that same level of cards. I
Yeah.
don't know if you do. It's not, at certain times it's better than others. I don't know if it's at its peak now, but it's restored ability, draw three cards. It's seen a bit of a resurgence to me from when I
Draw till three
draw.
cards.
You have
It can
till
draw
three.
you three.
Sorry. Yeah,
Probably
you're
not.
right. No, it would be a lot better if it just drew three cards.
Yeah.
Then might be then it'd be the best card in the game because it'd be better than Peasantipity.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's attack if you can power it up with Gardevoir can. Copy opponent's attacks is very nice and useful in things, and free retreat. So just a nice card there. And then I also have Mimikyu, which I like. I don't know if you see it quite at that level, but I think its walling ability is just very nice. So I think having that as an option you can splash in any deck is very good.
Yeah, Mimikyu is a cool card. The reason I don't even know if I have Mimikyu, but again, I was looking at other people's plays. People don't play it. I do like Mimikyu as well. Um, Crustle like does they're similar, and people are playing Crustle now, so they're
Yeah.
not really playing Mimikyu. But yeah, Mimikyu is still good. Um, I don't know exactly what you're playing it in. One deck you could play it in again is going to be like potentially Gardevoir. It's not like something people are really playing Gardevoir, but you certainly could, and it could definitely bring you value there. And then I had a bunch more cards in this middle tier. Again, mine's bigger than yours. I mentioned
Okay.
Dusclops, but then there's also I had Lily's Clefairy EX. Lily's Clefairy EX is very good against Dragapult. It's not like the most universal card. Well, it can be in a bunch of different decks. It is in a bunch of different decks, and it can be used against any deck. It's not like good against every deck, but it's like usable. But regardless, you have that there. Then you also
Yeah.
have I have Cleffa. Cleffa's like good. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't. I feel like I theoretically like it, but I don't actually use it that much. But it's pretty good. Where did you have that? Did you
Yeah,
have it?
I have that. It's also good. Both those are my top 12 lilies, Clefairy EX. Obviously, it's not a top card to me because it only helps Dragon decks. Cleffa it had been played more at one point in time. It's not played a lot now, but it's probably it's the second best of the baby Pokemon, so it is a very good card.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the babies are all like not unplayably bad, but like pretty bad. But does a lot
Yeah.
better than Cleffa. But yeah, anyways. And then I also had two more here. These are all single prizers that are pretty sketchy, but they're pretty cool. The one is Alakazam. Alakazam's been seeing a lot of play in standard. I'd say it's the best single prize deck, unless I'm forgetting something. Um, yeah, there's also like control, but I mean, it's not really a single price deck. So yeah, Alakazam's like pretty decent. It's not absurdly good, but I feel like it's a decent card. And then also and I had the Kadabra in that lower tier just as a bit of a addition there. And then also, um, the other card I had in this tier was Elgium. Elgium from what says it? Black Bolt. And it lets you move in for one psychic energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. In my opinion, it's the main attacker within control. So I decided to put it in this middle tier here. So I think it's a decently good card. Um, and then yeah, I mean ultimately, I'll quickly run through the rest of them. I guess
Yeah.
I have Left Key, Fluttermane, Screamtail, Jellicent EX for Lish, Kadab, which I said. There's a Dedenne in some control decks. And then there's also Sylveon EX. Notably, there's a bunch of cards that work with Gardevoir EX. The reason that I have them relatively low here, especially Screamtail is probably like the main one. You have those in Gardevoir.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's like only it doesn't do anything outside of Gardevoir. So I more so put that into Gardevoir than Screamtail.
Right.
And same thing for the rest of those. But ultimately, Psychic has a bunch of depth and it has a bunch of really powerful cards. I think it has the most powerful cards at like every level.
Yeah, so I got a couple others you didn't say. Or at least one. I have Uxie, which it's not a top competitive card, but it's a really fun card. It's a very good,
Yeah.
right? 2 damage counter each, so it's a really fun spread if you want to mess around with stuff. I will say with Screamtail, I have that down as well. That's one of those cards of it's really good because of Gardevoir, right? Without
Yeah.
Gardevoir EX, it's not good at all. So that's to what. Oh, I don't think you said Jellicent, did you? So I have Jellicent
Yeah,
EX
I did.
down.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so that's very
Like
good. It
quickly.
Gardevoir, but
Yeah.
it's also its own card and deck as well. Team Rocket's Mewtwo, I have that down. I don't think you mentioned that. I
No,
do
I feel
think
like it's not super good. Well, I feel like it's pretty bad. It's fun,
I
I
think
guess.
it's in a team. I think the Team Rockets deck is fun. I think it's okay. I think it's a lot of fun. I think this is probably the centerpiece of a Team Rockets deck. So I think it's pretty good.
Um,
Useful
yeah, I'd
myself.
say one counterpoint. I mean, it's like kind of a counterpoint. I'd agree it's the main attacker, but I'd say the centerpiece is definitely going to be the trainer package, specifically the supporter, which is like the reason. That's the reason you play the deck, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it fun, right? You got to kind of want that type of thing there. So that's fair enough. Fair enough. I think though. I mean, I think 12 cards. I would put Team Rocket. It's kind of at the fringe, right? Of being in or out. I don't think you said Mega Gardevoir EX. Obviously, just good
Oh
in the
yeah.
Gardevoir EX, but it's I can see leaving it off too. And I have one which you're definitely not going to like. It's another future Pokemon. I didn't. I had a lot of future Pokemon in early on. I dropped a lot out. You'll be glad. But I think Iron Valiant EX with
Oh, I
its
like that. It's fun.
put damage counters, I think it still has value. You got the tool, and I think it could have more value than could see more usefulness than it gets no attention. I think it does have value. Like if you want Hawlucha's putting just 2 damage counters, something like Iron Valiant could be very good in some of these decks.
Hawlucha puts 2 damage counters, but Iron Valiant puts 2 damage counters. No, he can. Yeah, he can put more.
And you can do it every
Yeah, I mean,
turn.
yeah, I'd say Volcanion EX is actually kind of similar,
Hmm.
except it doesn't need to be switched. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Iron Valiant switched in. It's not like the same, but anyways, and then another card I actually forgot, or maybe I didn't forget. I don't like it though. That's Togekiss, where you take an extra prize on a coin flip.
Oh
It
yeah.
seems like a bunch of play. I mean, I don't know. It seems like decent chunk of play, more than some of the other cards we've said, definitely. So yeah, that's like all right. I don't like it. And then there's also I think there's another one. Oh, this Slowking. Slowking's like pretty bad, but it's played. It's kind of fun. Might be a top 10 single price deck. Probably is.
Yeah, I think it might be. So yeah, look, so yeah, there's just a lot of good psychic cards. That's why it's number one, right? There's obviously Gardevoir is insane. I don't think it's not the top card by those, but you could be the second best card. I'm not sure. It gets tricky, but
Yeah.
it's super great. And we have some other great cards and a lot of very good and a lot of good cards, right? That we as we've talked about. I think these ones we're seeing at the lower end even are still probably better than some of the cards. A lot of the cards we've talked about for some of these other types, just because we were trying to fill out those types. There's just a lot of good psychic cards in the game now.
Yeah, I think now we're getting to the end of this podcast,
Yep.
which actually has gone on about like a pretty good length here.
Yeah.
Not too much, I don't think, but yeah, I think we need to like kind of finish on end with like
Put
a
put.
final list here. So
Yeah.
I mentioned Psychic at the top, Darkness, then Colorless,
Yes.
in that order. As those are like as I said, clearly to me the top types. You kind of you agree.
Right.
Um,
I think at the bottom, let's put water at the bottom and at 10 and put fire right above that at 9. I
yeah.
think
Mhm.
we're good with that. It gets trickier. Then we get these decks that are do you want to prize quality of a few versus quantity, between the metal dragon, do you want those above the lightning fighting grass, which has more bulk, but not quite as good.
I feel like Grass has honestly like some of both. Looking at the what is it? So obviously Grass, you have Ogerpon, you have Badoo. Those are very good cards. They're
Yeah.
not like the very bad. I mean, I could see a legitimate argument to make either of them in your top 10. I don't think that's like I don't know if I would do that, but I might. Like they're good, right? Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, no, they're both very good. I kind of put together the 28 top cards. Those two are both in the top 28. So, um,
Yeah, and they're So I don't know. I had Grass at 4,
okay, I
and
think that's fine. And then What do you want to do? I mean, I had you don't want to put lightning next. I would say it's dragon or I think dragon's next then,
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
and then we'll do
And then you
metal,
want, yeah.
and then let's to make me happy. Let's put lightning above fighting.
Okay, that's fine by me. I feel like fighting is like kind of meh. Um, Lunatone I like, I guess. I haven't really played Lunatone that much. And then I mean I like Cynthia's, but Cynthia's is good because of like the other stuff. So yeah, I feel decent with this list. So final list here we got let's see, what's the other? Psychic, Darkness, Colorless,
Grass.
Grass, Dragon, Metal, Lightning, Fighting, Fire, Water.
That you got it. Yep, you
Nice.
got the list. You can read a list. So yep. So I think that's a pretty good list. Obviously, let us know your thoughts on the comments on the video, either 10 types or uncommon fossil, and let us know what you think, what cards we missed, because I'm sure there's a few cards that we missed that deserved mention as well. So hopefully you enjoyed the discussion, and we look forward to the next podcast and check us out next week.
Yep. Take care.